Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey, it's Eric Cornish with WKDQ as we head into another pay-per-view weekend. It seems like we've had a little breather for a while here on pay-per-views.
Which I like. Yeah, it has been a few weeks, which I am totally cool with, and a network special in there to hold me over from Japan, no problem by me. Looking at this card, though, Eric, and I'm assuming we'll do some predictions in this episode.
Yeah, WWE Battleground Sunday in St. Louis, and yeah, it's an interesting card here.
Did you hear Daniel Bryan call it Battlefield?
Yes.
Was that on the? I forget. Was that the after show or was that on Tough Enough?
Yeah, I think it was on the Tough Enough after show. I think it was.
Either way, he called it the wrong name, and I thought that was kind of funny.
It's a battlefield.
Of course it is. Looking through these, I have to be honest with you, we've been doing this show for over a year now, probably about a year and a half. I don't think we've ever had one this difficult to predict, in my opinion.
This is tough. There's a lot of tough calls in this one, but and I haven't written a thing down, but let's go with it.
I organized my thoughts. The first match we have is on the pre-show, and it has this, what I think is kind of a weird feud with R-Truth and King Barrett.
But it works for me. Like, as weird as it is, it's like, I like it.
Okay.
I like having R-Truth a part of the mix.
I do like having R-Truth as part of the mix. However, I don't like having Bad News Barrett as low on the totem pole as this is making him.
That's true. But at the same time, because of all that, Barrett's going to come out on top in this.
When Barrett started this feud, he was at a point where a victory over R-Truth would not have meant much, and now he's losing to him week after week.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. This will be the time that he gets that win back.
Yeah.
So I have King Barrett going over.
Yeah,
R-Truth.
he will. I can't see Truth taking the crown here at this point, but I do like the fact that the crown's on the line. That's kind of neat to me because they didn't do that a lot back in the day.
I didn't even realize that.
But occasionally they would. Occasionally they would have that where the crown was on the line, and that's how guys like Duggan ended up becoming the king.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I don't mind that. I don't mind the king kind of being a moniker that you can win in a tournament, but still could be on the line if you chose for it to be on the line. That's kind of.
I don't like that, but it does make this match more interesting. But still, I mean, if it's something valuable, it should maybe be on the main show instead of the pre-show. Right. Personally, I am a fan of the plunger.
Yeah,
the plunger.
I love it. I love it.
All right, up next.
I mean, it's crazy when you look at some of the matches on this card. There's some solid players here. Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt. Although I will say, there's something about this feud that has not connected with me yet.
You know, I've heard other wrestling fans saying this, but I actually am kind of enjoying it as far as, I think it gives Wyatt's character some depth. It almost reminds me of a serial killer in a movie or the Joker or something, the way he's playing with Roman Reigns' family. It's a little repetitive, but it's something about it's working for me.
But here's what you normally get with one of these movies that you don't get with Bray Wyatt, is you never get that payoff to go, oh, that's why he was doing this. And I don't think you've really gotten that in any of his feuds yet. It's
Good point.
he's got this subliminal talking, and then these phrasing. Like this time it's anybody but you. But what does that mean? And will we find out? And history shows that we probably won't.
Good point.
But at the same time, I would really like to see Bray Wyatt win this.
I would love to see that too.
I don't hate Roman Reigns.
I do.
You hate Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I don't like him.
I thought, have you turned to hating now?
Yeah, well, see, it's been subsiding a little bit since he did not win at WrestleMania, but he's one of my least favorite wrestlers. This is a guy who, I believe, here's my problem with Roman, in a word. He displays no emotion. If he's happy, he looks the same as when he's sad. If he's winning, he looks the same as when he's losing. When he goes on to a TV show, on a late-night talk show, he just has no emotion to me. He doesn't connect with me. I feel no emotion from him, and that's my biggest problem with him right now.
But those eyes.
Stop it.
Oh, excuse me.
Stop it.
No, I'm with you. I hear what you're saying. I don't hate him. I like where he is on the card right now. He still has potential to be a huge star. I think he could. He just hasn't found that niche yet. I think it would do good for Bray Wyatt to pick up a victory here and continue that storyline of Roman had that rocket on his back, and now he just can't get there because that'll make him better in the long run. So
well, and I will tell you this. I think Bray needs this win. He's at that point where he hasn't had a big win in a while.
We've said that it doesn't hurt him when he loses, but
he needs one.
Yeah, and now might not be a bad time to hook him back up with the Luke Harper, being that Eric Rowan's out with an injury now.
Yeah.
They were going to try to put those two back together as tag team. Luke Harper's way too good to be sitting on the shelf. Maybe this is where that happens, and then you eventually look for a split between the two of them, and have Bray turn babyface. I mean, that would be great. So,
that being said, though, while Bray needs this win, I don't see him getting it. Personally, okay. I don't feel confident in that. Do you think he's going to?
I'll go with Bray. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take Roman. So there we go. And we may have a lot of disagreements on this show.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's talk about the next match.
All right, this match is not going to be as advertised. I don't know if you know this yet.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback is officially out of this match. He had a staph infection that flared up on him after Raw, so he will not be a part of this match. So my question, I guess they're going to leave Big Show and Miz in there together. And I'm guessing the Intercontinental Championship will just not be on the line because this doesn't look like it's a long-term injury, so I don't see him stripping him of the title.
Okay. So now what are we doing? Are we just pretending it's going to be Miz and Big Show?
I'd say Miz and Big Show.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Miz on this one because that would make sense. You know, especially if they're going to have this match down the road.
Yeah.
You know, Big Show's been dominating everybody. The Miz has kind of been treated like that comedy character. So it's either going to be a really quick, knockout punch from the Big Show, or the Miz is going to win. I think the Miz needs to win. I
think the Miz wins also, and the reason is because I feel like this feud has been Ryback with Miz, and then Big Show's just there, and he's been like the extra in this match. So I feel like if someone was going to win the title on Sunday, it'd be Miz before Big Show. So I think they'd probably book it that way. Personally, I think Miz is in the right spot for this right now.
Yeah, and I think Ryback will be back in time for SummerSlam, I would hope, and maybe they try this match again then. But I'd like to see, I'd like to see the Miz win this one, and I think he will.
All right, the tag team title's up for grabs next. The Primetime Players and our buddies, the New Day.
I tell you what, I've wanted for so long, even before they broke them up, for the Primetime Players to be tag team champions. I think it's been good for them, but at the same time, I don't think it was the right time.
I agree with that.
And their run so far hasn't done much for me. And the New Day, much better as champions.
They're still the bigger stars on the show. They're still doing way more than Primetime Players are. That being said, I still think it's too soon. They just won it, the last show, right? Last pay-per-view. So I think they're going to give them a little more time. But I kind of wish they would have just waited and built this up a little bigger.
Yeah. Well, New Day is going to be back at full strength with their three-person team. I see some kind of shenanigans happening. I think they're going to take those titles back.
Oh, really?
I do.
All right. I would love to see that, but I disagree as to what will happen. Orton and Sheamus.
This is hard, too. I don't know.
I feel like there hasn't been enough there for us.
No.
There's not an angle here yet.
And it's one of those rehashed feuds. It's like they're the two guys that they need to have a match together, but they've had a ton of matches before. I'm not real excited about this one. But I'm gonna go with Orton, only because it seems like the Money in the Bank winners tend to be the whipping boys whenever they're holding that briefcase.
Well, I think that Sheamus is going to win because, again, I feel like he's more visible on the show now. I think he's going to go over Orton, and it's just the way I feel. We've been disagreeing, I think, more than we have been agreeing. So this will be fun to watch on Sunday. And then we've got, 2 more matches?
Yep, 2 more matches here.
This, Orton and Owens, Cena and Owens, man, I don't know what to say here.
I don't know. These guys have not disappointed yet. And it seems like, this would have to be the blow-off. But does that mean a blow-off where Owens finally grabs the U.S. title? Or is it a blow-off to where Owens goes on in his own direction? I'm going to grasp at a straw here, and I'm going to go with Cena. I don't really want to, because Owens lost the NXT title. So it seems only right that he would come in here and grab the U.S. title.
This one,
but I can't commit.
I labored over this one. I don't feel confident, but again, we disagree. I'm going with Owens. This feels like the appropriate ending. This feels like the right time, place. They got the strap off of him in Japan. Cena, is he just going to continue doing these challenges? I feel like that's the story they wanted to tell. After all this, Owens beats Cena for the U.S. title.
Okay.
And so, yes, I think we've only agreed on one, I think, The Miz.
Yeah, and so,
Barrett.
So here we get to the main event.
And this one is gut-wrenching too.
Well, and I've heard some rumors that may help me on this one, but I'll let you go ahead and make your pick first. WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins defends against Brock Lesnar.
Okay, so here's what we have. We have Seth Rollins, who's been the definitive cowardly heel, finding a way, rightly or wrongly, positively or negatively, to escape with a title after every defense. Whether it's Kane and the J&J, whether it's his own ability, he squeaks out a victory every time, oftentimes using great heel tactics. My gut instinct at first was to say he's going to beat Brock once through cowardice, through cheating, through just getting one over on Brock, not actually beating him cleanly, but getting one over on him. However, I feel like the way things are going right now, I feel like you have Rollins looking to take on Triple H at SummerSlam. I feel like that's not that's not a title feud, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was just talking to some buddies about this and sharing my thoughts, and I feel like you don't need the title in that feud. In fact, I almost think the loss could lead to the feud at SummerSlam, and Brock wins the title. I feel like it's the easy answer, but I don't know. None of it was easy for me. What do you got, Cornish?
All right. Well, and that still could be, yes, you could be looking at that for SummerSlam, and my scenario still could play out here. But, again, I did not come up with this on my own. I did hear rumors on the internet, and you may have heard the same ones, that a certain person could be returning for this pay-per-view.
Okay.
That person being the dead man, the Undertaker. Now, I would have never guessed this on my own, but now hearing that going, okay, it makes sense. Brock's still that tweener. He's not really a babyface.
Okay, a little bit.
He's not really a heel. But what just happened, you see Brock Lesnar taken out. Not only did they mention it, but then he also took out Kane and broke his leg. He also, continues to tout the fact that he was the one to end the streak of The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. So, now I don't know how the crowd would react with something like that. I have a feeling they'd be on the Undertaker's side if he showed up and somehow cost Brock Lesnar the title. And that would set up for an awesome match at SummerSlam. However, now that you've mentioned that, it could also be something to where, okay, Brock Lesnar does win and destroy Seth Rollins, now that Seth has no help from J&J and has no help from Kane and the Authority. And Brock does win, and if Taker returns to get in Brock's face and challenges him, that also sets up for one heck of a title match now at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see where you're going that way. But I'm going to go with the former, and I'm going to say that The Undertaker returns and costs Brock Lesnar the match.
So you think
because that's the only legitimate way I think that Brock doesn't destroy Seth Rollins. He has to have help, and he has no help from these other people. So,
okay,
and I don't see Triple H coming out to make that save because we've been there with Brock and Triple H.
So you have Rollins retaining.
I have Rollins retaining.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting because we have a lot. Usually, we're more.
I'm not confident with that.
Hey,
Let me just say that.
Yeah, I'm not over here saying wait till you see Sunday, Cornish. I just think that this one anybody's ball game. I'll be watching on Sunday. Will you be watching?
I will be watching Sunday. Yes.
Great. Well, so let us know your predictions. This one's tough. The email addresses are right there below, and of course, enjoy the show. For myself, the Rob,
and for Eric Cornish, thanks for watching another Enhancement Talent.